Chapter 1: The Return. The small town of Mystic Falls was buzzing with excitement as rumors of a mysterious stranger started to circulate. The stranger was said to be tall, dark and handsome, with piercing blue eyes and a magnetic charm. Little did the townspeople know, this stranger was none other than Stefan Salvatore, a vampire who had been gone for almost a decade. Stefan had left Mystic Falls to escape the never-ending cycle of violence and drama that came with being a vampire. He had spent the past 10 years traveling the world, trying to find peace and solitude. But now, he was back and ready to face his past. As he walked down the street, Stefan felt a familiar pull towards the Salvatore mansion. He had not seen his brother, Damon, in years and was eager to catch up with him. When he arrived at the mansion, he was met with an unpleasant surprise. The once grand and luxurious home was now in disrepair, and there was a feeling of darkness and emptiness that lingered in the air. Stefan was about to enter the house when he heard a sound coming from the woods. He quickly turned around to see a young girl running towards him, her eyes filled with fear. She told him about a group of vampires who had taken over Mystic Falls and were terrorizing the townspeople. Stefan knew he had to act fast to stop them and protect the town he had once called home. With a determined look in his eyes, Stefan set out to reclaim Mystic Falls and restore peace to the town. Little did he know, his return would also bring up old feelings and memories, and he would soon be faced with challenges he never thought possible. The journey ahead would be filled with twists and turns, but Stefan was ready to face whatever came his way. Chapter 2: The Reunion. Stefan's first priority was to find Damon and see if he was involved in the chaos that was plaguing Mystic Falls. He made his way to the old boarding house where Damon used to reside, but found it empty and abandoned. As he was about to leave, Stefan caught the scent of his brother and followed it to a dark alleyway. When he arrived, he found Damon facing off against a group of vampires. Stefan quickly joined the fight and together, they were able to defeat the vampires and drive them out of the town. After the fight, Stefan and Damon finally had a chance to catch up. Damon was surprised to see his brother back in Mystic Falls, but was happy to have him by his side once again. They talked about the past decade and all that had happened in their separate lives. Stefan explained to Damon about the rumors he had heard about the town being terrorized by vampires and asked for his help in stopping them. Damon agreed to help, and they set out to gather information and track down the source of the trouble. Their investigation led them to a local bar where they met Caroline Forbes, an old friend from their past. Caroline was now the sheriff of Mystic Falls and was in the middle of a battle against the vampires who had taken over the town. She was happy to see Stefan and Damon and joined forces with them to stop the vampires once and for all. Together, Stefan, Damon, and Caroline worked tirelessly to defeat the vampires and restore peace to Mystic Falls. However, they soon realized that the battle was far from over, and that the vampires were just the tip of the iceberg. There were other supernatural forces at play, and the trio would need to be at their best if they wanted to save their town and protect the ones they loved. Chapter 3: The Plan. Stefan, Damon, and Caroline had their work cut out for them as they faced a growing army of supernatural creatures. They realized that they needed a solid plan if they were going to have any chance of success. They decided to start by gathering information about the leader of the vampire army, who was rumored to be an extremely powerful and dangerous individual. They reached out to their network of supernatural contacts and were eventually able to find a witch who was willing to help them. The witch provided them with a spell that would allow them to locate the leader's lair. Stefan, Damon, and Caroline set out to find the lair and face the leader head-on. When they arrived at the lair, they were met by a powerful vampire who introduced himself as Klaus, the original hybrid. Klaus was the mastermind behind the takeover of Mystic Falls and had an army of hybrids under his control. Stefan, Damon, and Caroline were outnumbered and outmatched, but they refused to give up. They fought with all their might, but were eventually overpowered and captured by Klaus. Klaus revealed to them that he had a larger plan in mind and that the takeover of Mystic Falls was just the beginning. He had his sights set on a much larger goal, and he needed the help of the Salvatore brothers to achieve it. Stefan, Damon, and Caroline were faced with a difficult decision. They could either work with Klaus and risk everything they held dear, or they could fight against him and risk losing everything. The future of Mystic Falls and the lives of those they loved hung in the balance as they weighed their options and prepared for the battle ahead. Chapter 4: The Betrayal. Stefan, Damon, and Caroline had agreed to work with Klaus in order to uncover his true intentions and find a way to stop him. They soon realized that Klaus was a master manipulator and had no intention of keeping his promises. Klaus revealed to them that his ultimate goal was to create a new race of supernatural beings and that he needed the help of the Salvatore brothers to achieve this goal. He revealed that he had a magical artifact that could make his plan a reality, and that he needed the brothers to retrieve it for him. Stefan, Damon, and Caroline were torn. They knew that Klaus' plan was dangerous and could have catastrophic consequences, but they also knew that they needed to find a way to stop him. They agreed to retrieve the artifact and bring it back to Klaus, but they also made a secret plan to destroy it once they had it in their possession. When they retrieved the artifact, Klaus betrayed them and revealed that he had no intention of letting them destroy it. He attacked them and a fierce battle broke out between the two sides. Stefan, Damon, and Caroline fought with all their might, but they were no match for Klaus. Just when all seemed lost, an unexpected ally appeared and helped turn the tide of the battle. The ally was revealed to be Bonnie Bennett, a powerful witch who had been tracking Klaus and his plan for some time. With Bonnie's help, Stefan, Damon, and Caroline were able to destroy the artifact and put an end to Klaus' plan. However, the victory was short-lived as Klaus managed to escape and vowed to return and seek revenge. Stefan, Damon, and Caroline knew that the battle was far from over, and that they would need to be ready for Klaus' return. They also knew that they could never let their guard down again, as betrayal could come from the most unexpected places. Chapter 5: The Aftermath. The aftermath of the battle was intense. Mystic Falls was left in ruins and the community was in mourning for those who had lost their lives. Stefan, Damon, and Caroline were exhausted, both physically and emotionally, as they tried to come to terms with what had just happened. They spent the next few days cleaning up the town and helping the survivors rebuild. They also made a plan to keep the community safe from Klaus and his followers. They formed a network of supernatural allies and created a system of watchtowers to keep the town secure. Despite their efforts, Klaus and his followers continued to pose a threat to Mystic Falls. The Salvatore brothers and Caroline knew that they had to stay vigilant and be prepared for anything that Klaus might throw their way. However, they also took a moment to celebrate their victory and to reflect on all that they had accomplished. They were grateful to have each other and to have Bonnie by their side as they faced the challenges ahead. As they looked out over the town, they knew that the journey ahead would be difficult, but they also knew that they were up for the challenge. They were stronger together, and they would not let Klaus or anyone else stand in their way. They were ready for whatever the future might bring, and they would do whatever it takes to protect their home and the people they loved. Chapter 6: The Legacy. Years passed and Mystic Falls was finally at peace. Klaus and his followers were no longer a threat, and the community had fully recovered from the aftermath of the battle. Stefan, Damon, and Caroline continued to lead the town, and their leadership was respected and admired by all. However, as the years went by, the three of them realized that they could not fight forever. They grew tired and wanted to step down from their leadership roles and live a normal life. They had saved Mystic Falls and the people they loved, and now it was time for them to find their own happiness. Stefan chose to settle down and start a family, Damon decided to travel the world and explore new cultures, and Caroline decided to pursue her dream of becoming a writer. They all found their own paths in life and were finally able to live the lives they had always wanted. As they grew older, they never forgot their legacy and the sacrifices they had made to protect Mystic Falls. They passed on their knowledge and their experiences to the next generation of supernatural protectors, ensuring that the town would always be safe from harm. Their legacy lived on, and their names became synonymous with bravery, courage, and leadership. They were remembered as the heroes of Mystic Falls, and their story was told for generations to come. And so, the journey of Stefan, Damon, and Caroline came to an end, but their impact on Mystic Falls and the world of the supernatural would never be forgotten. They had saved their home and the people they loved, and they would always be remembered as the heroes who fought for what was right. If you liked this video, please give it a like and share. Subscribe the channel for more amazing stories.